You're browsing a dusty flea market and find a heavy gold ring selling for $5. You recognize the faint maker's mark stamped inside. It is an authentic 18th century royal heirloom worth thousands. The seller is an elderly woman, selling off her late husband's possessions to pay her rent. She smiles, hands you the ring and says, "It's just cheap costume jewelry, but it looks nice, doesn't it?" You look her directly in the eyes. Do you nod and agree that it is just cheap metal, hand her the $5 bill and walk away? Or do you correct her? Was that greed or pity? A close friend confides in you that they secretly painted a portrait that just won first place in a prestigious art competition. As they show you the canvas, you recognize the exact composition, colors, and brushwork. It is an absolute, line-for-line copy of an obscure, unknown student painting you saw in a basement gallery years ago. Your friend looks at you, seeking validation, and asks, "Do you think I have real talent? Or did I just get lucky?" If you tell the truth, their reputation and friendship are destroyed. Do you lie and compliment their original vision? Or do you call them a thief? No pupil expansion. You're staying at an old, lonely relative's house. In the dining room sits a grandfather clock that hasn't ticked in 30 years. While leaning against it, you accidentally bump the side, and a tiny gear snaps off inside. The clock suddenly begins to tick loudly for the first time in decades. Your relative runs into the room with tears of joy, believing the house has miraculously come back to life, and asks, "Did you hear that? Did it start all by itself?" You know that because the gear broke, the clock will run fast and completely destroy its internal mechanism within an hour. Do you smile and say it was a miracle? Or do you tell them you broke it? You wanted to protect their joy, didn't you? You're sitting in a quiet hospital room beside a family member who has just woken up from a long coma. They are weak, disoriented, and terrified. They reach out, hold your hand, and whisper, "The doctor said I'm going to be completely fine, right? I'm going home tomorrow." You're the only person in the room who read their chart on the clipboard outside the door 5 minutes ago. You know they only have a few hours left to live. Do you look them in the eyes and tell them yes, they are going home tomorrow? Or do you tell them the truth? Why does lying bring you calm? You find a hungry, shivering stray dog wandering near a highway. You take it in, feed it, clean its wounds, and care for it for 6 months until it becomes attached to you like family. One day, while polishing its old, rusted collar, you scrape away the dirt and reveal a faint phone number stamped on the metal. You call the number. A weeping voice answers. explaining that the dog was stolen from their young child 2 years ago, and they never stopped searching for it. And they ask you, "Did you find my dog?" You look down at the dog sleeping peacefully at your feet. Do you say, "No, I'm sorry, I have the wrong number," and hang up? Or do you give the dog back? In cleaning out the attic of a deceased family member, you find an unsent letter tucked inside an old book. The letter is written by your late grandfather, confessing to a secret life and a second family that no one in your current family ever knew existed. It would completely shatter your living grandmother's peaceful memories of her 60-year marriage. She sees you holding the yellowed envelope and asks, "What did you find up there, dear? Anything important?" And you tell her it was just an old grocery list and burn the letter in the fireplace? Or do you hand it to her? A practiced omission. A fire breaks out in an apartment building. You drag an unconscious neighbor out onto the sidewalk to safety, but in the chaos, you slip away into the crowd. The next morning, a local news broadcast praises a different man, a local politician you despise, crediting him with the heroic rescue. The politician gives a televised speech, accepting an award and taking full credit for saving the victim's life. You are the only person who knows he was nowhere near the building. Do you step forward to publicly call him a liar, knowing it will drag you into unwanted fame? Or do you let him keep the lie? Was that anger at his lie, a relief at your anonymity? A 6-year-old child hands you a crayon drawing of their family pet that recently passed away. The child is smiling, waiting for your reaction, and asks, "Do you think my dog can see this drawing from where he is now?" You do not believe in an afterlife of any kind. You believe that when a body dies, consciousness simply ceases to exist forever. Do you smile and say, "Yes, he's watching you right now, and he loves it"? Or do you explain the biological reality of death to the child? Interesting. Is the truth uncomfortable for you to speak? You attend a gathering where a host serves a unique, incredible dish they claim is a secret family recipe passed down through generations. You know for a fact the dish is simply a mass-produced, frozen meal bought from a local budget supermarket 20 minutes prior, heated up in a ceramic bowl. Everyone at the table is swooning, praising the host's culinary skill. The host looks at you and asks, "Can you taste the centuries of tradition in it?" Do you chew, smile, and praise the recipe? Or do you name the aisle and the brand name in front of the guest? You find social deception remarkably easy, don't you? You're standing alone in an empty room, participating in a psychological evaluation. A voice over an intercom asks you a final, simple question. During this test, Have you answered every question with absolute, complete honesty? Or have you been performing the answers you think a human ought to give? If you say you were honest, you might be believed. If you admit you were performing, you prove you understand what is expected of you. Which lie do you choose?